Hello, I'm Richard Crump, I'm the editor of Accounts Age. Today you're joining me in the Hammersmith Ram, so I almost forgot what pub I was in there, it's a bit worrying. Anyway, obviously doing the usual broadcast, Friday afternoon live, looking at what's going on in the week. This week again, Google, HMRC and the distinct odour of controversy around their tax deal continues to stink out our news agenda. So I'm going to talk about that. They appeared before the Public Accounts Committee for the usual bloodletting and grilling that goes on. And the other story I want to flag up is a bit of an exclusive scoop by Accountancy Age this week. The ICAEW's Finance Director, Liz Ryler, unexpectedly quit the Institute's board this week, which we revealed, and we'll look into that and what the reasons may have been. Anyway, back to the top of the agenda. A couple of Google execs and some HMRC bosses appeared before the Public Accounts Committee yesterday. So what did we learn from their appearance? Well, firstly, the MPs have little understanding as to how the tax system they created actually works. Changes to the tax system, not Google's call, is very much a response of their executives. Reform must come from the governments, not from the companies who are subject to their rules. And who writes these laws? They decried. Well, the answer, of course, was the MPs that Google gave. Nevertheless, Google's European chief, Matt Britton, who was there for the ritual shellacking, had a very uncomfortable time of it, particularly when he had to resist calls to disclose his salary, apparently forgetting how much he gets paid. This obviously led to kind of howls of derision from the committee itself, that somebody could actually, didn't know what they got paid, which makes them kind of a bit different from the rest of us. Anyway, Britain did go on though to defend the amount of tax that Google pays. He claimed that the silicon tech giant pays 20% effective rate of tax on its UK profits, not the 3% cited in some reports. Yeah, the hearing told us told us less about Google's explanations on these tax arrangements. We've heard a lot of them before, and it actually told us more about HMRC's defence of its 130 million settlement with the tech company. Again, HMRC said it was constrained by the complexity of tax laws. It defended the size of its payment that it received, which is actually the biggest Google has paid outside of the US. And Jim Harrop, HMRC's Director General for Business Tax, said Google had not been penalised or couldn't be sanctioned above and beyond the tax it paid because of the difficulty in proving insufficient care. Now, Jim Howard did say that he understood the public anger, yet he thinks the HMRC and the government position is that the current penalty legislation does not work for large companies in the way that it should. He was unable to respond, however, to MP's questions as to how much the 6-year Google tax audit had cost the taxman, but said it had been a very expensive and resource-intensive investigation, largely because of complexity in transfer pricing. Now, Google refused to comment also on recent claims it is on the verge of striking other tax deals with the likes of Italy and France for a larger amount, despite making less profits in those countries. And I guess the comments by the likes of George Bull, senior tax partner at RSM, that unless there is a fundamental structure of corporation taxes worldwide that will be changed, debates such as this present the spectacle of individual countries scrambling for larger slices of the same cake. I guess that is ultimately where we end up after all of these hearings. The end position is international tax law, unless it is kind of sorted out in the way that the IFRS would be. You have a coherent structure across the whole world, you're always going to get these cases. Anyway, separately, a bit more practice-orientated news. The ICAEW emerged this week had lost its finance director. Liz Ryler, who joined the Institute only in 2014 with overall responsibility for its financial management, has quit with immediate effect. Accountancy Age uncovered this from a couple of sources close to the Institute, and our line that we received is a difference of opinion at board level may have been contributed to Ryler's sudden departure. Now, without going into the details of the names of the individuals involved that we've been given, or some of the reasons behind the dispute, clearly if a senior member of the team leaves with immediate effect, with no announcement until it's uncovered by the press, then there have been some form of ructions at board level between some of the key partners. If anyone wants to give me a ring and teach some more dirt on what happened, I'd love to hear it. But anyway, the ICAEW did provide a platitude for Liz's time there. And during her, she actually left on the 5th of February, so a few days ago, Anyway, during her 2 years with the ICAEW, she was responsible for getting 2 major projects off the ground and now feels it's an appropriate time to hand over them for completion. Well, I'm sure that was very appropriate of Liz. Anyway, that's all it is for this week. I hope you enjoyed it or didn't find it too painful to listen to. I'm sure I'll be back next week unless Kevin Reid wants to do it. See you then. Bye.